Alright, I'm back. It's DK Damn Fine Shave, the channel that keeps a golden 500. No BS, just BBS. Alright, let's get into it. The shaverage for today is a rosé. This is what we're working with here. This is actually the last little bit of the bottle. I was watching BBS when I got off work. Or not BBS, I was watching the Canadian Mafia show when I got off work, and while I was kind of working on my steak dinner. And so I kind of cracked this, and I've been working on it over the course of a couple hours. But yeah, so that's what we're working with. It's an Italian rosé, apparently. Looks like the label kind of slid a little bit. Not very good quality control there. I'm not claiming it was expensive shit, but I don't know how to pronounce that. There's the back label for anybody that's interested. Good shit for a cheap price. Yeah. Yeah. Not much of a wine person, but every now and then I have a hankering for it, so yeah, that hits the spot. It's getting warmer here in central Washington today. It was probably close to 80, if not over 80. And even right now at like 9 p.m., it's probably like 70 in my bathroom. That's why we're going with Barrister Mann's Arctique. You can kind of see that nice blue label as it reflects off the light. Embrace the cold. Honestly, they could have done more with the label. I do like the blue foil, but definitely could have done more with the label. We got our little caution sticker there. Extreme cold, keep away from the eyes and balls. Eyes and anything that you would prefer not to freeze. You've been warned. This is the Omnibus soap base. There is the Star Wars intro laundry list of ingredients. And that's all you're going to get out of that. We got our Lancaster Razorock shave bowl right there. Awesome shave bowl. Got a nice little lather whipped up. Let's see if I can get the light not to completely have its way with it. Maybe not at this hour of the day. You can kind of see on the bottom half there. Nice high density stuff right there from the looks of it. Got a nice little sheen on it too. You know, when you put high levels of menthol on something, it's known to kind of collapse a lather, so it kind of says a lot about the quality of the Omnibus soap base. And then we got our Wild West Brushworks. I believe he called this one Snowdrift. And I kind of like the depth of the clear and opaque white. You can kind of see there the little like peaks, and you can almost, yeah, you can see to the coin even. Very nice brush here with just a black synthetic, cheap knot on top, I assume. One thing I was going to do just for the hell of it, add some Barrister Mann's Terrorade. I don't know if this stuff is still available or not. Maybe when gets into the dog days of summer, he might bring it back. This is just a little dropper. I don't think you gotta shake synthetic menthol, but I'm gonna do it anyways. And it just has this little dropper there, so you can kind of see. Now, I've used this many times. I don't think it does much, honestly. Synthetic menthol does it for some people. For me, it more so just adds like a more of a tingling sensation rather than a actual like cooling effect. So it kind of tricks the brain, in my opinion. Real menthol gives you, ice cold feel on your skin, and the more real menthol, the colder it gets, to the point where it can even feel like it's burning almost. When you get to extreme cold, you can kind of feel almost like your skin's burning rather than freezing. And that Terrorade synthetic menthol, you know, frost drops, it also is kind of known to kill your lather, but Omnibus is gonna hold up. But don't judge the don't judge the look of the lather on this shave. I used way more Terrorade than I need to, but sometimes you just gotta prove a point, you know what I mean? Haters will say it's not real. Okay, let's go ahead and wet the face. Too much talking. Okay. The Canadian Mafia show. Good time as always. Fun time as always. I've been really enjoying getting into the little after party on the Canadian Mafia Discord. Where you can kind of chop it up with a couple of the Canadian Mafia hosts, as well as the Canadian Mafia community, which is a lot of the same, you know, wet shavers that you know and love on YouTube and Instagram and everywhere else, Facebook group. The Canadian Mafia is a very, you know, welcoming bunch, fun bunch, like to give each other a hard time, and that's right up my alley. So, good stuff there. I have about 3 days growth. See, and that, you know, that looks pretty good. Again, I think my light's kind of fucking me. Okay, there we go. You can kind of see the density there. You probably don't want to see my my damn eye that close to the camera, but just so you can get a look, you know, when it's all coiled up like that, you could see the lather looks pretty good. However, with this amount of menthol, you wouldn't be able to judge it too harshly, you know, on the overall base and everything. And honestly, I'm not trying as hard as I used to on making lather. Just being honest. Okay, we got the Razorock Hawk with my fingerprint on the top cap. That's cute. I had an old blade lying around. No idea how many shaves I have on that blade. I'm kind of working through my like side stash of who knows how many shaves I had on this blade. And if it ends up feeling like shit, I got some Kai blades right here off to the side. I can do a mid-game audible. So let's get into it. Razorock Hawk. Very nice little shaver. Artist Club single edge razor. I believe this is stainless steel. An affordable luxury in my opinion. Great little razor. Great little shaver. I don't use a whole hell of a lot of Artist Club things, but I do get good shaves with Artist Club blades. You know, they're a lot like, you know, these Schick injector blades that I, you know, love so much and I talk so highly of. They have that same design, just a little bit longer, a little bit bigger of a footprint, you know, width-wise, which I know clean shavers, not bearded shavers, but I know clean shavers definitely appreciate that extra footprint. Helps you get the shave done a little bit faster. But Schick injector blades and these Artist Club blades, they have a little bit more rigidity. The backbone of the blade itself is a bit more stiff. I think it's, you know, don't quote me on this, but I think it's because the blade itself is a bit thicker than your regular DE blade. You know, DE blades, you could kind of easily flex them in your fingers. Whereas these single edge blades, they're a little bit more rigid and harder to flex. On a side note, I got on my last video I was talking about the 2 new phone mounts that I bought. And the one I'm using now is just a kind of suction cup with a magnet attached. You know, I got to kind of keep my eye on it because I've caught the suction kind of giving way before. Definitely not a great solution. I got a blemish right here, so I'm going to try to go under it and over it and just try to shave close to it, but ultimately avoid it because I don't want to cut it. A lot of its right there. Well, say I might have got it anyways. See, if I would have had a Schick injector, that smaller footprint, that would have never happened. Fucking artist club. No. No. I'm just joking around. Alright. Good pass 1. I think that just came out of the beard, but just to be sure. Okay. As I was saying, good pass 1. Knocked it down. Definitely got a lot of work to do here, though. You know, the cheeks not so much. The cheeks I just kind of get my beard line looking right. See if I can build this remaining lather up a little bit. I got to kind of make a mental note. Maybe load heavy when I'm using Arctique. The quality of lather's there with the density and everything and the slickness, considering how much menthol's in it. However, I don't quite have the volume that I would like. I have enough for what I have to do, but I definitely don't want to, you know, skimp by, for lack of a better word. Kind of want to have more than enough. I can afford to be wasteful with the lifetime of supply of soap that I have. Your mileage may vary, as they used to say back in my day. Holy shit. I guess I shouldn't have dipped the tips of water into my shaving water. Ah, fuck it. I don't know if it comes across on camera, but you can see all those cut hairs. Those are not coming out of this knot. Those are all my damn beard hairs. Anyhow, let's see if we can. Still got a lot. Still got a lot there. There we go. Maybe it was just a me problem. Maybe I could have extracted that, added more moisture. Who knows? Haven't really talked much about the level of coolness. I would say this is kind of in that medium-high level. You know, I don't know if I've ever had a soap, a standalone soap, without me adding more menthol to it, which I have a bad habit of doing. I don't know if I've ever had a standalone soap feel like it was high chill factor. And I'm talking about like all on its own. You know, this is kind of like medium high. It's up there. You know, First Canadian Shaves Mojito Chill, that's up there. You know what I mean? But as the King of Menthol Mountain, the Menthol Maestro, it's just, you know, it's just medium high at best. I think I'm being generous, but that's the one. I am looking forward to my new buddy Chris Lather the Yeti, Instagram and YouTube. He's sending me a bunch of samples. Some of those samples include some mentholated soaps. So I'm really looking forward to that. Get some new stuff in the den that'll kind of test the status quo. You know, I've been gone for a while, so a lot of stuff that I've missed out on, and new artisans that I'm interested in. More contenders for mentholated soap options. You know, when you have a large razor collection and you switch between razor types, if you want to figure out where your shave angle is, kind of ride the cap. And I don't mean a little bit, I mean entirely. Ride the cap all the way up here where the blade's not even engaged. And you can kind of, you know, do a small buffing action. You're not going to feel nothing but the head of the top cap. And then slowly work that angle down until the blade engages. And then you'll get that proper shaving angle for any given razor. And then once you got it, you know, you could just kind of lock it in. But it's a good practice. Especially, you know, if you take a stroke and something feels off, you say, whoa. You know, I got the wrong angle here. It's a good practice. It's a good way to find the angle quickly. Just ride that cap. And then kind of work your way down until you engage there. Oh, forgot about that damn blemish. No doubt I will be getting a weeper due to that. Let's go ahead and hit some across the grain. Kind of got to see where that weeper is because I don't want to fuck it up any more than I already have. All right. The Hawk did its job. The mystery blade did its job. I would say Arctique did its job, nice and cold, and I definitely am not worried about the heat in my bathroom at the moment. I got a nice, you know, persistent chill factor going on here. Feels BBS. Could have done a little bit better on the Adam's apple. Damn BBS everywhere else. Let's go ahead and get this lather off. We're going to do a straight down motion. No funny business when you got mentholated lather around the eyes. No funny business. Avoid the eyes at all costs or you will pay for it. Oh yeah. That omnibus soap base is the real deal. To hold up to that amount of lather, that's good shit. Or to that amount of menthol in the lather. Got our Lancaster Razorworks Black Sheep Towel in blurple, bluish purple. Oh yeah. We're going to finish off with the matching Barrister Mann Arctique Aftershave Splash. And you know, I think the real menthol kind of overtakes the synthetic menthol, excuse me, when you combine them. At least on my skin, because I feel more of that real chill, freezing cold on the skin rather than that fake tingling synthetic skin feel, or sensation I should say. It's more of a tingling sensation rather than a real chill feel. I could be a rapper. Alright. Last but not least, the matching aftershave. And there is the ingredients for those who are interested. We'll give it a little shake just to combine those ingredients. Not to say they weren't already emulsified. We got a nice quality industry standard restrictor here. We'll start off with 1 serving for the cheeks. Watching the eyes. You can see, you know, I'm not squinting, I'm not hurting, I'm not worse for the wear. I'm enjoying myself. The top of Menthol Mountain, baby. Let's go ahead and get another helping for the neck. We'll go ahead and throw it on the arms for a nice full body chill. The residual anyways. Alright guys, this one went longer than expected, but I talked too much. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers. Pinkies out, bitches.